So today I am going to prepare loaves to bake sourdough for tomorrow. The first step for that is making the leaven. Now what I need for that is I've got a bowl, I've got my silicone stirring spoon, unbleached all-purpose flour, which is what I'm going to use to build the leaven. I've got just some filtered water here, just in a covered flask. It's a nice easy vessel to use for that. I've got a bag and a clip here that I'll be using to cover the bowl of leaven so it doesn't dry out, my digital scale, and then just my sourdough starter here, which I fed last night and is really happy and active and perfect for this situation. So I'm just going to tear my scale. Then I'm going to add right around 55 grams of starter here. A little bit more. 56, we'll call that good enough. Then I like to add my water next, and for this purpose I'm going to put in, let's say, 210 grams, so I'll just tear the scale. Almost there. 209, we'll call that good. So now I like to add the water next because then I can mix the starter into it and just distribute the yeast a bit better rather than dumping everything in. At least this way more yeast will be mixed into the water. It doesn't have to be all the way there, just get it a little milky. I will tear the scale again, and then I'll add another 210 grams or so of this flour. Oh, so close. A little bit more here. Yeah, overshot a touch. It's impossible to measure properly. There we go. So now I'm just going to pull it off the scale and mix it up. I like the silicone spoon because you can easily scoop off the edges and keep the bowl reasonably clean once you have everything mixed up. All right, so we'll call that mixed. I'll just use that other spoon just to scrape this off, get it all in there. This is definitely going to be more leaven than I need, but I'm also planning on using some of the excess in here to do some other baking with. So I'm only going to need about 200 grams of this to make the sourdough. So this is going to sit for about 6 hours. So I'm just going to pop it into the bag here. You don't necessarily have to seal it up or anything like that, but I will since I've got the clip out. So I'm going to let that go for about 6 hours. About 3 hours from now, I would start to make the actual dough for autolyse. But this is the leaven. It'll be ready to rock in about 6 hours or so. I put mine in my incubator at 75 degrees Fahrenheit. I just find that it's out of the way and it works really sweet. Good temperature, good timing to get this leaven going. So there we are. That's the leaven. All right, so the incubator's heating up. It's at 68. It'll be at 75 here fairly quickly. I'm just going to open up, set my leaven in here. You can see my stir plates that I use for yeast incubation. Now, of course, most people don't have a yeast incubator / bread proofer. You could also do this in your kitchen. I used to do it up on top of my fridge. Just place the bowl up there because that's usually the warmest place in the kitchen. As long as it's a little bit warmer than 70, you should be fine. It won't take too long. If you are a little bit cooler, that's fine. It just takes longer for everything to work. But I really like this. Plus, I've got this thing, so why not use it? All right, it's been pretty close to 6 hours here. So let's take a peek at this leaven. We shall be nice and active looking, ready to go. Okay, so taking a look at that, yeah, you can see lots of bubbles, fun action going on there, and that is ready to be added to a sourdough so that it can begin to ferment.
There you go. Keep it right at 11.